am so happy that good morning, Lake Nona and Orlando. This is Alan Maycumber with Premier Sotheby's here in Lake Nona, and again, I had promised you a special preview of basically what we discussed with Mark Cook last week in reference to air traffic noise, and we wanted to get into the best 5 places to live in Lake Nona. Now, when we really get into that, I just want to preface this as where you want to live in Lake Nona really is a personal choice. It doesn't really have to do with the subdivisions or anything in reference to a lot of the facts that we'll talk about today. It really has to do with where you like to live. What style of home do you like to live in? How big of a lot? Do you need a pool? Do you need it close to a certain area in order to go to work? So I did want to get into it. I hope you guys can see the map okay. But generally, what I wanted to start out with and kind of show you a few facts. I was here in 2001 before pretty much all of this was built. So basically, the very, very first subdivision that was built was East Park. And if you look over here, you got North Lake Park, and then right across the street you got East Park. So you got East Park there. But in our conversation with Mark Cook on last Thursday, remember he was talking about air traffic, because a lot of people have concerns about air traffic. And we're going to get into a little bit of facts about Lake Nona and what it encompasses here shortly. But what he was saying basically was living east or west of the airport in the middle of the runways is your safest bet if air traffic is a concern to you. And I'll get into a little bit of facts on that as well, since I sit on the noise abatement with GOA here. I can kind of show you some air traffic patterns and so forth. But as you know, Lake Nona originally basically was from right here all the way down to here. So that was the original plan. The original plan was 7,000 acre planned development. And now it has since expanded to 11,000 acres, which is 17,000 square miles. So you can kind of see that Lake Nona is a pretty big area of housing and business development. But when we start, if we look over to the left here, this is Orlando International Airport, and this is the 4th runway, and these are the other runways, and there's 2 more runways over here that you can't even see on this map. And by reasoning, if you like this map, just contact me. You can get it on my website. I have a map on my website as well, and that's alan.maycumber@premiersotheby'srealty.com. You can also call me directly, 407-251-1314. I can get you a copy of the map as well. This one's a little bit outdated. The one on my website will give you a little bit more information on the subdivisions that are up and coming, and also talk a little bit about each subdivision that's there. So when we start talking about where do you want to live, what's the 5 best places to live? Well, again, it really depends on what your work status is, where you want to be in reference to food, restaurants, and so forth. But anywhere in Lake Nona here, you have an abundance of different restaurants all the way up and down here, so that should not be a problem for you. But when we talk about subdivisions, so you've got North Lake Park up here, you got Water's Edge here, you got Lake Nona Golf and Country Club right here, you got East Park over here, you got Bella Nona, North Shore at Lake Hart, and as you go over here, this is the Isle of Pines in Lake Nona area. Now, originally, when we were talking about this, Lake Nona truly, if you really want to think about it, Lake Nona is just this side of the road of Narcoossee. So Narcoossee is here. That's Orange County, actually. This is city limits. But when you live in any of these areas, it's the Lake Nona area. I mean, we'll just calculate that real quick, because it is Lake Nona. I mean, this whole area is booming right now. So when we talk about North Lake Park and we talk about Village Walk, and then we get down to Laureate Park, and then we get down to Fells Landing here, and what you're going to find, and then you have Eagle Creek, which is the golf community over here. So what you're going to find is what Mark was saying, anything east or west of the airport. You got Southport over here, which was the old Navy base, and the old Navy base has smaller homes. The value has gone up tremendously there as well. But anywhere in here, the value has gone up. I'm betting that there's not very many people that can say they know the exact average price of a home. Well, back in 2019, the average price of a home in Lake Nona area was $520. Again, it's gone up considerably over the last couple of years. So you're really looking more in the higher fives, low sixes as an average price range. And that really encompasses Laureate Park's development, and of course the Golf and Country Club puts a lot of price increases on that. So that gives you a good idea of what you're looking at. But if you go into North Lake Park, you can get homes anywhere from the upper threes to the mid 800s. Which is nice. And then if you go into Water's Edge, you can get homes again, upper threes, all the way up into the millions for the lakefront lots there on Lake Nona. And then of course you go into the Golf and Country Club, that is typically $1 million and up. They go all the way up to $5, $6, and $7 million in there for the estates. If you go to the east over here, you get into East Park. East Park typically, again, is lower threes up to the mid fives, possibly 600s. You get into Story Park and Randall Park, again, about the same thing, high threes all the way up to 600,000 and 700,000. So you're in that ballpark there. North Shore, about exactly the same, except for, again, you do have lakefronts back here on Lake Hart, which are up into the multi-million, $2 to $3 million range. And then if you go back here in Isle of Pines, you get bigger lots, you get acre lots and more. Back here, older homes, but again, a lot of them are on the lake, so it really depends on whether you want to be on the lake or not. But typically those homes will go 300 to 400 off the lake, and then when you get on the lake, they go all the way up to 2, 3, 4 million. So that kind of gives you over here. You come here, Fells Landing, which is right here at the bottom, is the very last subdivision in Orange County. So Boggy Creek Road is right here. This is the last subdivision, and those price ranges anywhere from 400s to 700s here. Then, of course, you got Laureate Park, which is right here in the middle. And Laureate Park, again, the price ranges are pretty high. They go anywhere from 400s up to the multi-million dollar range. So that's a good offset to tell you what's happening here. You do have a few houses here along Kirby Smith, which are lakefront, that are in the $1 million range. This is all commercial now here, so on that side of the deal. But when we get into air traffic and we talk about noise, well, I'm going to give you a little bit of update of what it's doing, how they perform, so maybe that'll help you out. If you look at the runways here to the left, these are 3 and 4, and 3 and 4 basically, if they're departing to the south, they're going to go out here, and if they're going to go to the east, they're going to turn this way. So they're going to come from here, and they're going to come right here. So basically, you're going to get air noise in Watermark, Laureate Park, and across to the north end of Eagle Creek typically is where you're going to see that. Now, if they're departing from the 4th runway, they're going to be a little shy. They're going to go directly pretty much over the tennis complex, and they're going to go this way over Laureate Park, so you're going to get hit here. The farther the runways out, if they're typically those runways are going to the west, so you don't have any problem. But if they do for weather or any reason, they're going to come over here, right down in the south part of Lake Nona Center, and you're going to get air traffic noise there. Now, if you were looking for, you said, I just can't stand air traffic noise, I can't be around airplanes, I don't like them. Well, then what you're going to be looking for is homes on the west side of the airport over here, or homes in this general vicinity here, Lavinia, East Park, Randall Park, Story Park, all over in here, because you're directly east of the airport and the planes are going this way. Now, the only time they're going to fly over this area is weather related. If there's a storm or whatever, they'll do a sharper turn and you would get noise that way. But you will end up getting noise no matter what you do, whether you're going north or south. If you live down off the runway quite a ways, you're going to get noise. So we do get a lot of noise complaints from down here in Osceola County. We do get a lot of noise kind of complaints from Laureate Park, and unfortunately the FAA, there's nothing we can do about that. That's just the way it is. So they're not going to change air traffic that easy. Eagle Creek, we haven't really had that many complaints because of the traffic coming off of here. It's either going right in between here, or it's going farther down here and going over Fells Cove. So that's a big bonus for you in terms of there. But I just wanted to give you a couple of facts. I already told you 17 square miles. The average income for Lake Nona is dual family or dual income is over 100,000. We have 14,000 students in the Lake Nona schools, which is really, really interesting. I think that's pretty impressive. Right now you have roughly about 16,000 residents in Lake Nona. And it's growing every year. And now next year, of course, Disney is coming in and they're going to build their training facility in Lake Nona, which is going to bring an additional 2,000 plus people to the area, which I think is very important for you to know. So Lake Nona is still expanding. And then if we go farther south, which is not on this map, but you go farther south, you've got Sunbridge, which is another community, and that was started by Tavistock, and that's going to be another huge here. And then of course all these little spots on the map, like I said again, you probably can't see everything, but it shows you the middle schools, shows you the subdivision, shows you the street names, Eagle Creek, shows you Laureate Park, shows you 417. It's a phenomenal map, and that would be on my website again, alan.maycumber@premiersotheby'srealty.com. So you can have that. You can get on there and you can get a free relocation guide or a free buyer's guide, which might help you determine where you want to be. And if you have any questions, again, you can always call me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, Alan Maycumber, We Know Orlando, and we can show you all the videos that I've done in the past, which might help you out of what's going on in Lake Nona. I try to do a video every week of a different business or an upcoming individual that is supporting Lake Nona, that lives in Lake Nona. I've been here since 2001. I've been doing real estate for 30 years, so I've seen a lot of development. And Lake Nona is still growing, and it's a great community to live in. But again, it all comes down to your personal choice of what you're looking for in a house. So I wanted to get this to you as a very, very brief, short update of what's going on in Lake Nona, the 5 best places to live. If we're looking at the 5 best places, and this, again, this is not determined by any true factors, it's determined by sales, of how many homes have sold recently. It's determined on location, it's determined on your preference. So if we looked at just numbers, the number 5 that comes in on that one would be over in the Lake Mary Jane area, which Lake Mary Jane Estates, that's the number 5 area to live. The number 4 area is up in Story Park up here. Number 3 area is Randall Park. Number 2 area is Laureate Park. And the number 1 area is the North Lake Park, Water's Edge, Enclave, and Morningside. So that's just by numbers and so forth. Anybody can come up with different ways they do it. I just look at what's sold recently, what the price ranges are, location in Lake Nona, typically, or in Lake Nona area, if you wanted to say that. So that might help you out. If you do have any questions, again, email me, alan.maycumber@premiersir.com. I'm always here to answer questions for you, help you out in any way. If there's anything that you have concerning the area and you'd like to talk about it, feel free to give me a call, 407-251-1314. Again, I hope you guys have a great weekend. If I can do anything for you or help you out, feel free to touch base. Thanks again, and have a great day.